First up is Gerald's Game. So this is a 2017 movie based off a Stephen King novel starring Carla, I can't really say her last name, Gungio. Let's go with that. And then Bruce Greenwood and Henry Thomas. And then there's also a little girl whose name I didn't put in there because I forgot to. But yeah, this came as a recommendation from Josh. He crazy loved it. I'm also going to have a second recommendation from Josh as one of the other movies. But yeah, basic premise is that this couple here, they go to a cabin in the middle of nowhere to kind of spice up their love life, as you can see on the poster. And then, in the middle of some stuff, something happens, and now she is just stuck to the bedpost and can't get out. And yeah, it's really intense. Like, this movie is legit terrifying. Um, it made me so incredibly anxious. And, like, I don't think I've ever legit been triggered before by a piece of media or something, but, like, this movie legit triggered me. Like, specifically, like, it was when she got tied up to the bed. Like, I've seen that in other, media and stuff before, but, like, for whatever reason, the way they shot it here, as soon as, like, he did it and she, like, couldn't really get out of it, like, I just had flashbacks to when I was a kid and would fight with my brother Kyle, and, like, he would pin me to the floor, like, with my hands above my head, and I couldn't move, and I would freak the hell out. And I just, like, immediately just, like, it was just so much fear inside of myself because of, like, her situation. And, like, really this movie just kind of hits a lot of, like, deep-seated fears that I've had, and it just oh my god. But it's really solid. It's really about abuse, both from, like, a romantic setting, from a relationship, but also, like, parental abuse. And the same goes with manipulation, both in a relationship and then also between a child and a parent. It's also about sexual assault. That stuff's rough. And then also about childhood trauma and, like, repressed memories. And then obviously it's also about, like, the lengths you'll go to survive. And, like, when I was done with the movie, I was like, did I like that? I don't even know. But I was like, well, that movie made me feel so many emotions and just, like, transported me to so many different places that, like, okay, yeah, the movie did a good job. It knew what it was doing. It was solid. I put it in the really liked category. There's no way I could not put it in the really liked category. I will warn you though that, like, there's a scene near the end of the movie that it was so disturbing, like, legit. Like, I could not look at the screen, and I curled up into a little ball out of just, like, fear and disgust. And it was just like, yeah, this movie was, like, made to give me an anxiety attack. I'm probably never going to watch this movie again, but it's like, it is really good. I did put it in the really liked category. It just is in that special category of, like, my whole life of movies that are really good, but I'm never going to watch again. The other two ones would be The Exorcist, which terrified the hell out of me as a 17-year-old, and then also Requiem for a Dream. That movie's amazing, but Requiem for a Dream is it just kind of breaks your soul. But yeah, good times. Now on to Hearts Beat Loud. So this is a 2018 movie starring Nick Offerman, my third Nick Offerman movie, and then I'm going to butcher her name. I think it's Kaiserly? Sure, Clement? It's her. She was in Dope, if you ever saw that. And that's got Toni Collette from Hereditary, and then Ted Danson, it's always great to see Ted Danson. Yeah, I kind of had high hopes going into this one. The basic premise is that it's a dad and daughter, and she's, like, graduating high school, and they're kind of figuring out what to do next in their lives, basically. As you can see, music is involved. He owns a record store, and he's kind of at a point in his life where he's just like, I don't know what to do. And yeah, it was decent. I loved their chemistry when they were, like, goofing around and stuff. Like, Nick Offerman being silly was hilarious. And then the original music that was in the movie was also pretty solid. I don't know if I'll listen to it outside of the movie, like if I'll, put it on my Pandora playlist or something, but it was entertaining in the movie. I liked it. There's a little concert at the end, spoilers, and that was really nice. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of slow, and there were like lots of parts where just nothing was really happening, and I was kind of just uninterested in it. And it's just like, yeah, like I said, Nick Offerman had like the good, like when he was being silly was great, but then like when he was like his character flaws were just like, oh, okay, that's just I don't like you now because of those character flaws. Like you could have better character flaws than this. I don't know. It was okay. I put it in the liked category. And it was fine. It's described as like a feel good movie. I didn't really feel good after. I don't know. It was okay. I don't know. I guess there were parts where I felt good. It was all right. And lastly, the killing of the sacred deer. This movie. This movie came out in 2017, stars Colin Farrell, the second Colin Farrell movie, Nicole Kidman, who looks freaking incredible in this. Like, geez, I don't know how she looks so good. Also, Colin Farrell has a great beard. And then it also has Rafi Cassidy, my second one to her. And then Sonny, I can't say his last name, Seljic. He's the kid from mid-90s. Which mid-90s is great. You should totally watch that. There's one scene that's kind of weird, but otherwise that's a really great movie. And it also has Alicia Silverstone in it. And that's nice to see her. So yeah, the cast is incredible. This movie was shot great. And the thing is, though, I just don't get it. I don't know what the hell this movie is. I don't know what the point of it is. I don't know what it was going for. I just don't understand it whatsoever. Josh recommended this one to me, and then Justin actually saw it too, and they were talking about it before I got a chance to see it. And it sounds like Josh, who crazy loves this movie, Justin is the complete opposite spectrum. So like going into that, I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And so I went in, and it ended up being, I would say I split the difference. I'm like right in the middle. I was like, I definitely didn't hate this movie. I just don't know what the hell it was going for. The premise. I'm going to be vague about it just because like it's best to kind of experience it because not a lot happens in the movie. Essentially, Colin Farrell, who is a heart surgeon, has a teenage friend, the kid from Dunkirk, and the stuff for their relationship is kind of the driving force of the plot. Is it a romantic relationship? Is it platonic? What the hell is going on? What do they want? What is everyone? If you're familiar with, I can't remember if it's Greek or Roman stories, it's based off the tragedy of, I'm going to butcher this name, Iphigenia. Let's go with that. And if you know that story at all, then you know like a good chunk of this movie. It was so strange. And like I said, it was shot beautifully. I think everyone acted fine in it. It just, I don't get anything they're going for. I will say though, okay, so like, I was thinking this movie was going to be super unsettling, especially with how it opened. So like the first shot is just blackness while orchestra like builds up, orchestra music. And it lingers on it for a really long time to the point of like, okay, this is a little weird. And then smash cuts to an actual real life human beating heart. And it lingers on that shot for way too long. And I was like, oh, okay, I get what this movie is going to be. I'm going to be super unsettled the entire time. And it just wasn't. I was just confused. Like, I understood the plot. I followed the plot. I got what was going on, like what was literally happening in front of me. But like, I think there's just a lot of metaphors and symbolisms that I just didn't pick up on or understand. And then like trying to look up stuff on like discussion threads, everyone's either like, I love this movie or hate this movie. And then they don't really elaborate more on like what this movie is about or why they think it's an awful movie other than just like nothing happened or, oh, it was so great because it was beautiful or whatever and stuff. And I just don't get this freaking movie. I don't know if I made that clear enough, or if everyone can understand the fact that I don't know what the hell this movie is. Yeah, I did put it in liked though, so that's a thing. If you watch it and understand it, just let me know, please.